sure I do it the right way and I don't jump too fast and jump in a hole as opposed to jump ahead.
Okay.
Does that
And I
make
think
sense?
too, if you're looking at investment properties, I mean, I deal with a lot of investors and acquiring them, I mean, we have to look at many houses, and we take bids on many houses before we actually get one. So I don't know what type, you said you have the properties, I don't know if you actually really have the one you wanna buy, you just need the funds, or you still have to find the one. And you think that there's many opportunities, I mean, there are, it depends on what pocket you're looking in. But like I said, I mean, from, like I said, one investor, we can bid, look at many houses, bid on many before we actually win a bid. Because it's a
Right.
very competitive market out there for investors. So that means like breaking it down to monthly, you may have to look at 5 houses a week, bid on 3 houses a month to get one that month, or it may take you 2 months to get one because you have to bid so many. So that breaks it down to more of a tangible task to do today to accomplish that goal.
Right, yeah, I look at probably 10 houses a week
Right,
easily.
so
And,
that's-
but I can,
So,
I can
so when
purchase
your
them on
monthly
the
is,
on
look
the
at
spot.
40 houses a month under that personal, because you gotta look at least that many till you actually do it. You still need a financial one though, like a business number.
Don't you need money to fix them up?
uh,
Don't you need money to fix them up?
yeah, so you need the acquisition and the rehab money, but I just got some money through some loans. I'm going for we got a couple personal lenders, and then I gotta go talk to a bank for a line of credit. So if I get the line of credit, then I can do, which is leading back to my not needing money. Like, I don't have to sell 10 houses and save up this amount minus taxes to be able to put the down payment.
You still have to be able to pay for it.
Yes.
'Cause you're gonna have a,
You're gonna have costs that, exactly, the purchase, the closings, the rehab, the carrying costs, whatever it is, but they're all for buying homes, so I'm looking for all buying homes. So it's just a matter of getting
Are you
finances.
flipping them
Huh?
or renting one? Are you flipping
He's
them or
holding,
renting
he's
I'm gonna
holding.
hold them all.
Are they gonna be rentals or just holding them?
Oh, no, they're gonna be rentals. Yeah.
This is the other thing about a vacancy factor. Sometimes there's usually 75%
Yeah, you wanna
what
have-
they calculate for a vacancy, so you have to hold that debt. I mean, if you're borrowing money from somewhere, you still have a payment if you don't have it. So that's a cost that you will have to make money in real estate to fund.
and you wanna look at, if you're borrowing this money from what it's, I'm guessing you're borrowing it from, you're gonna wanna refinance that. So what does your income need to be able to refinance and get that loan? Because you're not gonna wanna pay that interest rate that they're probably charging you for long term.
Right, it is, you're right.
So this
you
is a-
need to sit with a lender and figure out, how much income do you need me to have in order to refinance this house, pay the house? Do you own your house now?
I rent,
Okay.
I don't wanna buy a house.
If you like this discussion,
For myself.
come back next month, because this is exactly what we're gonna be talking about, things like this. And we're gonna have at least one, if not a few, experts talking to us about it, who have been super, super successful at it. And they're gonna be willing to be vulnerable and tell us how they did it,
Don't sweat.
which is cool. So, what tools will you guys use to be successful this in 2018? Do you have any tools that you're thinking of? Thank you. Teacher's pet. Leah?
The 135 and that other one you showed us about budgeting for the entire year.
Okay.
I showed you that.
You did? He has it on his cell phone access, what, to Google Drive or something?
No, I'm using Excel.
Excel.
I have the Excel 365, so I bought a subscription.
Yep, perfect. So, I asked him a question, he went boop, boop, here, John, that's right here. It's all set.
So then the 135 is what
Good
I'm
stuff.
worried about.
Yeah, absolutely, that's good. But it's gonna be based on that business plan, which is the good thing.
You also probably want to put some education on there too, as part of your, again, it doesn't matter, job, business, that will help you to do something that it is that you want to do. Santina mentioned a big one yesterday, so I won't tell you
I
that.
want to get my broker's license.
Great,
Wow.
great.
So I said, that's
It
like a
was
little
always, like,
difficult as a
coming in, that
one-year
was
goal,
my
but that
dream.
it can shift over, you know,
Mhm.
it's.
Yeah, it takes you some time sometimes, yeah. So Kathleen passed this out. If you guys would just fill this out and put your name at the top and turn them in to me when you leave, we'll fill this in on the computer in kw.com for you. Becca, CGI. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. All right, John, you're good. So this would be awesome to have so that we can,
I did.
we can hit our numbers for international, that would help me and Debbie and Larry and those of us who get hounded, yeah. And then it also, you guys understand the CGI is basically your number of appointments that you need. It goes with your business plan. Appointments you need, listings taken, buyers and sellers, closings, and GCI, that's what you're tracking. And it'll track it for you. And all you have to do is go into cgi.kw.com, it'll come up for you.
Okay, I was like searching for it the other day, and
Yeah.
I've never, I just started trying to use it, and I was like trying to find it through the KW Connect.
Yep, exactly. It's right. cgi.kw.com, should come right up. The pipeline report, I'm giving you a reminder from last time. The money is in the follow-up. The problem that we have as salespeople is we don't follow up enough. Some people make a buying decision or whatever, or make an appointment, thank you so much.
And this is my stupid chalkboard that I keep on my desk. This is how I track my monthly, weekly
So
appointments.
this is a simple way for her to keep it in front of her face.
I just like it in my face. So it's listing appointments, buyer appointments, listing contract signed, buyer contract signed, under contract, settled, and I counted reductions, because reductions
Price
adds to
reduction.
my.
Starting to happen
and under
more often.
contract.
So I ask you one more question, and we'll talk just a couple more minutes. What are your standards for 2018? That's really, I think, what I'd really like you to get to. What is my big rock? What is non-negotiable, right? What is my standard of living that I want? What is my standard of quality of life that I want? How much time do I want to spend with my new wife, or my family, or my grandkids, right? Are you asking yourself this? Is this part of the plan? Because it needs to be. And it can be. Like I put here, what will you accept regarding your goals, lead generation, giving excellent service, your tracking of your numbers and your goals, right? What will you accept? Mediocrity? Not doing it? Not caring about it? Will you accept that? Will that make you feel good, right? I want you to feel good. I want you to feel like, man, I talked to an agent the other day, and he was showing me his plans and everything. And he was pumped, passionate, and excited, and it oozed off of him onto me, right? And I went, why? He goes, man, I've never been dialed in. It feels so good to be dialed in. That's what he called it, meaning I know what I'm doing. I'm on top of it. I know my numbers. I know exactly what I need to do today. That's exciting. What if you had that feeling? There's no reason why you can't. Here's real quick. Plan, you talked about education, right? The mega agents go to classes, and they go to regional and family reunion and mega camp, right? So this is what happens. What classes will you attend? Is it in your budget to go to things? Some things cost money. Not a lot, but something. How about this? Market Center, regional and national training. There's tons of it at this company. And when you go to regional, I'll tell you right now, you get around some inspiring people. It's worth it to go no matter what the subject is. Because the people you're with, you're like, wow, you're awesome. And you start to talk to them. And some of them are going to talk just like you, and they're, trying to get there, whatever, right? And none of them are perfect. That's the beautiful part of it. Top KW people, associates, leadership, everything, go to family reunion mega camp. By the way, you only have a couple days if you want a family reunion ticket. Get on there and get it if you can. You're going to be with 20,000 other people in one place. If you want energy, you want inspiration, go. I'll be there. We'll have dinner, by the way. All right. Who do you hang around with? What are the 5 people you hang around with? What we're told is you're the average of them. Average income, average lifestyle, average whatever it is. Because guess what? They influence you. One person the last time I talked about this thing said, I know who I need to cut out of my life. There was one that was cancer. stopped hanging around with whoever, they didn't name them, but you know. Do you have a coach or an accountability partner? You might say, John, I can't afford a MAPS coach, it's $1,000 a month. I know my business would skyrocket if I did it, I just can't afford it, right? Some other people would tell you, you can't afford not to. That's what they would tell you, because they already have a MAPS coach who's changed their life. But I would say this, you can have an accountability partner. That's easy. Find somebody who's not a pushover, who's gonna look at you and talk to you directly, but who loves you, and who has your best interest at heart. Find them. Ask them if they'll be your accountability partner. Do the same for them, right? You can do that easily, and that doesn't cost a cent. But what if I made you, or what if Debbie made you come to her with what you did this week every Friday? What did you accomplish? Did you make your numbers? How would you feel about that? That would make you maybe act a little differently all week, wouldn't it? If nothing else, you're embarrassed to tell your coach or your boss or whatever, I didn't make my numbers.
That's why Bold works.
That's why Bold works, exactly. And guess what Bold is? It's a bold coach, right? How about this? Do you plan to have a life worth living in 2018? Or do you plan on being addicted to your phone and your email and this business and let it rule you and be frustrated even though you're making decent money or good money, or in some of our cases, excellent money, and hating life? I like my customers, right? I like my clients. I like my associates now that I'm in leadership. But do I have a life worth living, right? What would your spouse or your significant other say if they were here and I could interview them right in front of you guys? Or your family, your kids. Your kids are more honest than anybody, right? Or your grandkids. What would they say? Mommy or daddy's always on the phone. We can't go to dinner without daddy being on his phone. I used to literally hate that that's what everybody thought about me. And you know what? They were right.
How do you stop it?
So yeah, how do you stop that?
I will not look at it during dinner.
Yeah, during
Well, I
dinner,
don't
but
do
like, let's
that.
say, is there a certain time that you say, because I'm thinking about all this as you're talking about it with the phone and all that kind of stuff, because I do want all this, but how can you get all this and so much more business means a lot more people calling you? So what do you
We
stop
did
at a
70
certain time?
transactions this year,
Right,
last 12 months. A lot of transactions.
right,
I've never taken more time for myself than this year.
right. What do? You dedicate a day or a time during the day that you say no more phone calls?
He has
First
systems.
you set the
Leverage
expect,
systems.
you set
time.
your expectations.
I'm only calling back during this time, and out of that, don't
It's
look
all
at your
about
phone. It's
expectations.
hard to, not to, you have to.
What I found out was that I'm not a brain surgeon and people don't die if I don't call them back within 20 seconds. And it's not usually an emergency. I also delegated a lot on this young woman. And so from contract to close, she takes it. She's an expert now. I don't even know what's going on half the time. She'll update me and things. But when I calculated how much time I spent on that stuff, oh, I just sat with a mega agent who's considering coming to Keller Williams. They do a tremendous amount of business. And we calculated wasted time of stupid things that they do that's part of addiction and maybe small thinking. She loses 3 months a year in that stuff. Her head, honestly, hit the table. She was so frustrated. She was like, ah, boom. She was just like, I can't believe this is so true. Like, I was finally getting to her, to where I said, you don't have to live like this. What would your husband say to me right now if he was sitting here with us? Would he say that you're a nightmare to live with because you can't focus on anything at home? And he's not a priority? What really hit me, to be honest with you, I'll just be really vulnerable right now, is when my wife said, the person I care about most in this world said to me, can I get an appointment with you? I already knew I was out of control. I just needed to be kind of smacked upside the head. I hated the way I was living. I hated it. And no amount of money made it better. I have so last couple of years, we've had bets. I hate to say it, I'm not a betting man, but with a couple of my friends who are agents, and who could have the first $100,000 month? Because we've done it before. Or bid close, something, right? If it came down to giving up my lifestyle and everything to get it, I lose. I'm okay. Because I'm all right with $60,000 that month. Or 80,000, right? Or 50,000. Or 20,000, right? I'm not going to give in to the devil anymore. And the devil sometimes is my phone. The devil sometimes are my clients. And guess what? It's mostly right here. It's all me made up stuff. You know how to do it, you just haven't committed to it. You ask, how do you do it? We're different, man. What I do might not work for you. But what works for you, I'm gonna high five you when you figure it out and tell me. When your wife and your kids tell me, Daddy's present again, Daddy's around. Not just physically, because a lot of times we're around physically, right? But we're not present in the moment. Right? It's hard. I'm not telling you it's not hard. I've been there and done that. I would rather have you tell me I'm going to have a life worth living than to make X amount of dollars. But to have a life worth living for me means I got to fund it. And I'm like Lisa, I'm competitive with myself. And I'm not happy if I'm not being the best I can be. I'm just not. I don't know why. It's inherent in me. I like to win all the time. When my kids were little and we played games, I wanted to beat them. And my wife would be like, can't you just let them win? I'm like, nah, I don't know why. I can't. You gotta be better. Learn, kid.
Suck it up.
Yeah. It's horrible. But in the same sense, it's been good for me in a lot of ways to be so competitive. So you gotta harness it. I don't tell you to be like me and beat your kids and everything. But, you know. There is a wealth building opportunity though that I wanted to bring up again, so you guys could understand. That profit share is here. It's something you can take advantage of, and it's up to you. No one can do it for you. Many of us have limiting beliefs. We talked about this in one of the Wealth Building Wednesdays. Many of us have limiting beliefs on it. But at KW, you are treated as an equal opportunity stakeholder. You're not an employee, right? You're not limited to anything. There's a guy named Brett Mitchell in KW. He sponsors like 200 agents a year, every year. He sponsored 54 last month. Why? He is so sold on this company, he cannot believe somebody works somewhere else. And he tells everybody how great the company is. And he's an equal opportunity referral guy. He wants everyone to have the same opportunity he has. The guy's just inspiring when you talk to him. He'll be at family reunion, by the way, if you want to talk to him. Next year, between Langhorne, Ben Salem, and Newtown, we're going to profit share a minimum of $750,000. You want some of that? When you make $2,000, Debbie, you make $2,000, $3,000 some months, right?
Yeah,
Is that not, like, unbelievable?
it's real. It's a diamond that nobody takes advantage of.
36% of the agents at KW take advantage of it.
I think that's what KW is all about. When other owners reach into their pockets and give the profit to agents,
Doesn't
What?
happen.
You know, think about that, it sounds convoluted when you say it, because it doesn't happen.
And you guys heard, she had on her 401 a goal of getting 5 on her first line of her down line. It's a great goal. Mo Anderson says if you have 15 on your first line in 10 years, you'll be making 6 figures a year. It's been proven in Keller Williams. Now they have years of data. And the profit share is just growing every year. I believe there's gonna be $200 million shared in Keller Williams in 2017. We're on track.
We reached internationally 1 billion
In
in November.
the lifetime of the company has been 1 billion, and most of it has been in the last like 10 years. It was very little, because they were building the company. And then all of a sudden, it hit a certain date, and it went through the roof, and it's just climbing like this.
Did you guys see the article about one of the happiest places to work?
Yeah, Forbes named us the happiest place in the country.
Number one.
Over Nike,
I thought we were
Bristol
number
Myers
three.
Squibb.
Number one.
We were number
Sorry.
one.
Number
Yeah,
one.
number
We were
one.
Number one.
Nike.
I like that.
That's
I
unbelievable.
don't care, I was still pretty excited. Free, whatever, it's pretty.
I have a bunch of friends that work at Bristol Myers Squibb, former clients, things like that. And I've ins with the HR department right here in New Jersey, right? So when they make a hire, they tell them about a realtor in Pennsylvania if you don't want to live in New Jersey, right? That's how it started. Right? So the funny thing is, the HR department hired. Now I have several of my clients who have turned into friends. And believe me, I was their friend before they were my friend. I knew who they were and what kind of influence they could have on me and my career. And by the way, they're awesome people too. But I was purposeful in some ways. But everyone you talk to at Bristol Myers Squibb loves their job and loves their company. It's unbelievable. They have great culture, that's what I can tell you, right? We beat them. They were number 8. That's pretty awesome. So profit share, if you ever want to talk about profit sharing, how it works, all that kind of stuff, what your goals should be, I'm happy to talk to you about this, so don't hesitate. How about any ahas today that you learned here? Something that hit you, you're going to be thinking about,
Almost everything.
okay? You can pick one thing that you can think of. You can look at your notes if you want.
Yeah, just that 411,
411.
that right there is like, that's where it all starts pretty much.
Yep.
That
Free tool.
Yep.
Yeah.
To me, it's like thinking big, you know, not think small, think large,
Mhm.
higher standards for different
Yes.
things.
Good.
30 to 40 units, think, yeah, like you said.
Think bigger.
Big, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, my goal's 18, but, you know,
Mhm.
it's better to think.
And
bigger.
18's not bad. We're not saying 18's bad, or even
Yeah.
12, right?
But to think like that, even if it's not your goal.
Adapt the habits of this person. That's what we're saying, yeah.
I'm gonna, a little testimony. My wife, when she first started here, and she'll come to these meetings and reading the MREA book,
Yes.
and she told me what her goal was. And I said, sweetie, you gotta relax. Relax. I said, you're going way too high. You gotta be more realistic.
Mhm.
And she was, and that kind of stroked a nerve with her, because I'm like holding her back,
Yeah.
you know?
You're on
And
fire to prove him wrong.
yeah, and she did, and she really did.
That's
And not
awesome.
only that, when I joined Keller Williams
Yeah.
not too long ago in May,
Yep.
and I was reading the book, I went to her and I apologized
Wow,
for bringing her down.
nice. That's awesome.
So that aiming big stuff is 100% true.
I
Wow,
think,
a man who
yes,
is very.
yes.
That's all.
What do you mean? It's easy for me.
It's not the first time, that's for sure, right?
Our husband, no.
I would say this, maybe on your personal goals is to get your significant other to believe in you and to believe in your dreams and your thoughts and your aspirations, because that is big.
I'm telling you.
If you have a spouse or a significant other at home dragging you down, not believing it, just because they're being realistic, right? What?
No, I'm thinking, trust me, you don't want to hear it.
That's okay, I can take it.
said dump her ass.
Well, that's the point.
You're
We're
not
not gonna.
supporting it. He
Yeah.
or she is not supporting you, they're not your spouse.
I mean, they're not
should be,
supporting
at least.
I converted
For
it
ignorance, because of
to
ignorance.
my way.
But, and she showed you,
Yeah, yeah.
and she showed you that she had the right goal,
My
right?
God.
And that made you believe it.
And
Converting
just
it
like
to-
after the
Dead.
fact.
Yep,
Yeah,
Yep.
he's honeymooning still.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the answer you get.
I saw your video, that was awesome. Amazing.
anything else that hit anybody real quick, Leah?
That budgeting, that setting a good schedule can save you a lot of time and supplements are unnecessary.
Right.
And then I should trade in this phone for an old, either for an old Nokia brick.
Did everybody do their business plan?
I think so.
I did.
What, right now?
No.
Oh, no.
Well, so that you can
This is,
actually
high school.
do your,
If you need help, you let me know, you let Debbie know, let Larry know, wherever office you guys are in.
That's your four.
There's a lot of us that'll help you.
They need it.
If you need a tool, Kathleen at johnmcclintock.com, with Kathleen with a K.
email Kathleen if you don't
I just wanna share, an aha moment.
The
The realtor that we're just recently talking to, who is losing 3 months a year of her life, I'm probably losing that, and that's like, wow. You know, that's what was my job goal on my phone was better time management, because I know I'm losing months a year of my life,
Mhm.
stuff, just wasting time on stuff.
Mhm.
And that's,
Great to think about,
yeah,
great to think about. What if you just got half of that time back, right?
yeah.
For you guys, it's hard because you're married, so that's
Yeah.
like, I, have that with Jack, like, you sort of have to not talk about it sometimes.
Yeah, that's the other problem is you're in business together now. Now you're probably talking about business all the time, right? Gotta be
Yeah.
careful, just be careful. My
And a
wife
lot of
and I are
times I
saying,
tell her, I said, let's
yep,
not talk about business.
yep,
How's your day today besides the business?
Right.
Because I can talk about business with you all day.
so
I don't wanna know about
it
business.
consumes you.
Yeah.
My wife and I are the same way,
Yeah.
so yep, just be careful with it, that's all.
Trust me, everyone else hates it. My mother and I and my sister were all in the same business, and
Yeah,
we sit there and talk. My dad hates it, my wife hates it.
the ones that aren't
Put
in it.
off to anybody else who's around.
Yeah.
So put this in your calendar right now, January 10th, 2 to 3:30. Another Wealth Building Wednesday. And we're gonna talk about investment properties. And we're gonna have experts here as guests. I have one booked already, a couple invitations to a couple others. So, we're gonna have some people up here, maybe a panel. It'll be exciting, it'll be inspiring, I promise you. And it all starts with your head, right? Your mindset on it. We're good with working with investors, but we don't do it for ourselves sometimes. And there can be a plan like Anthony's talking about how many you want, right? This year, and then next year you might have another goal, whatever. So Wealth Building Wednesday will be January 10th. Can we get that on the calendar here, by the way?
Yes.
Thank you. I don't see many from you, Kathleen, can you get it?
Are you,
Um,
you on the calendar?
So that's it. Any other questions or thoughts or
She got that for the calendar?
anything you were thinking about?
I have a question just for you first, or you, and
Yep.
for Lisa. I heard you say you use Quicken Books for your accounting.
Quick.
Yeah, QuickBooks.
Do you
Yep,
also, John?
I do.
So, only because I'm just trying to get into something I don't track, and I was gonna use the Profit Dash, because it was a KW product
Yes.
that links, so I didn't know
Yep.
if that, I don't know if you've ever looked at that to see if it has as many tools, would it be good? Should
I
I
have
just go
not,
with Quicken?
I just do what I do.
I would tell you, I've heard good things about it, but I don't personally use it, so I don't have like tangible, I love it.
Yeah, I don't have anything, so I was gonna start
Profit
with
Dash
just
is
because it was
there is-
a KW product, and it links our commissions already uploaded
Yep.
into it.
There is a free version of Profit Dash. There's a
Yep.
paid version, but I would start with the free and see what,
And see if I like the function, start somewhere.
Yep.
Becca might have input on that.
Yes, you might.
because that does a
Becca's-
mileage thing
Becca's
too.
great.
Does that
Becca.
track your mileage too?
It does track your mileage.
Because I've been using Mile IQ, but I
Yeah.
paid for it.
Yeah,
I had
there's-
it
There's
before.
an app in your phone that you can track your
It's weird.
miles.
It like
Yeah.
knows where you, it's free.
There's nothing like
Big brother
going
watching.
from not knowing your P&L to knowing your
No,
P&L like
it's
that.
good for tracking on.
I mean, for me, it changed my life because I can go on there, mobile, my cell phone, iPad, computer, at any time and know exactly where I stand. I know my expenses, I can tell you them, you know,
When you don't go to the accountant.
and your accountant loves you, by the way, compared.
Yeah.
Because we're a nightmare otherwise. I was. Thank you for coming, guys. Merry Christmas.
I'm not saying, I was thinking about it.
You can go around,
Just wasted 1 hour of the entire working day.
I used to last do the same thing. I started here, I started here, and then I stopped.
Stopping on it.
Yeah.
You mean the first time about men not listening?
Chica?
I thought that was pretty important.
Yeah, well,
Not only did I did it for long.
yeah, okay. Well, yeah, so,
I was at work.
I knew, I was asking, I didn't wanna,
I don't know. Then you have these conversations like back and back, around and around. My brother's saying we were this person, that person, no. We talked about it.
Yeah.
You can have two, so you can have your son, you can have both. How do you like them apples?
yeah, but I mean, like, I haven't seen her, but I've seen her
thank you, thanks for coming. Yes, you turn it to me.
I don't even.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Sorry, we'll update this. It'll go in the system, these people can play with it once.
You have to. You have to go with them.
And I just, all I literally have to do is.
They don't get it.
No,
they don't get it.
Which I should be doing.